Patrick, man, you came in here with the fresh kit. I had to ask you about your Jordans, man.
Yeah, I try to coordinate. That's one thing my mom taught me. Coordinate, so everything got to match.
You a shoe collector?
No, not really. I'm more so about long as it coordinate. My colors have to match.
Yeah, you came in already. You came in here big beat up. You know what I'm saying? I was just
if I ever was in a game, please believe it would be the Bloods.
I was like, you came in here rapping today. All right.
For sure.
Flamed up.
Yeah,
sure.
man. As y'all can see or hear, Krishan's not here. He's handling some responsibilities, you know. Jeremy ate some sushi and got sick, so Jeremy is not here. And Michael Zach is my man getting his CDL. So congrats to my man Zach. He's doing the 3-week class. So you won't see Michael Zach for a couple of weeks. He's handling business. So good luck to my brother doing this thing. So we got Mr. Heights, you know.
Shouts to the Heights. Shouts to the
He
Heights.
does that.
Shout out to the Heights.
You know, you became a character on the show.
Hey, man, I show up. I rep where I'm from, like we all do.
Repping the Heights.
Yes.
And we got 2 athletes on the show because you're a hooper.
Yes, I used to hoop.
Okay. And Jordan, you are an athlete because you done it all, man. You football, basketball,
Yeah, baseball.
viola.
Viola. Yeah.
Okay.
You're a Renaissance man.
I mean, I just, I like things and I go do those things.
This is his time to shine because the other guys ain't here, so we get
Gotcha.
up.
Hey, man, I'm here. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
So, Patrick, man, you've been keeping up with what's going on in basketball. Let me ask you this question just off the record. Anthony Edwards.
Is a monster.
Thank you.
He has that dog in him that you cannot teach. The heart that you cannot teach.
Bruh.
That's a guy you want to build around for any franchise. So
He
for
is.
Sure.
I was watching some highlights of him, like just on YouTube this morning. And I was like, man, he's really good.
Yeah.
Like, he's a monster.
Yeah.
Bro.
Like a legit monster.
Yes.
When I seen the commercial where he was doing pull-ups with the weight on his chest, I was like, yep,
Yeah.
that dude's a
He
dog.
got the size. He got the athleticism. He has that go leadership. Look at him.
It's funny because I had looked at some old videos when he was in high school going into college, and the most difficult person he said he had to guard was Cam Reddish.
Wow.
And Cam Reddish had go in high school and at Duke a little bit, but it just didn't quite translate. And now to see him is just outshining all those peers he was in high school with. He just took it to another level for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Who are some of your favorite basketball players now that we're just kind of talking about hooping a little bit?
Tracy McGrady was my first favorite player.
Sure.
He was a dog. I think back spasms took him out a little early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Of course, I like Mike. Who doesn't like Mike? I don't really care for LeBron. I like what LeBron does off the court.
You're the second person now. My best friend Russell is from Tennessee. My best friend Russell is from Tennessee, right? And we always give him hell because he's like, I don't think LeBron's all that. I don't know why. But you're the second person to ever say that.
I think LeBron is great. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to take away from what he does, but he's just not my cup of tea.
They handed him the keys to the whip, like before he even got drafted. But he did what he was supposed to do, I feel like, every step of the way. Even like his own, mistakes that he's even been able to own up to. He did what he was supposed to do with all that.
Yeah. I mean, I think, I don't know. They make him like he's perfect. That's what I don't like. I feel like there's blemishes on everybody, but
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. You just don't really see that. I mean, maybe what comments he might make, but other than that, I mean, you got some type of scandal with everybody in the league at some point, and this guy is just squeaky clean. So, I mean, I can't knock him for that.
I mean, you see what's happening to Diddy. 2 different things, but you kind of know. We thought Diddy was squeaky clean.
Right.
He ain't so squeaky clean.
I mean, did you ever really think Diddy was squeaky clean? Like we gotta keep it real here. We all knew Diddy was on some trash.
But LeBron though, so like you waiting for something bad to happen, like not to him, but like
No. I don't want to say I'm waiting for something bad.
But you don't like that he's saying that he's
more.
perfect.
Yeah, I think there's more than what meets the eye.
Yeah.
For sure.
What about you?
Oh, as far as like what?
Favorite hoopers?
Oh, AI for sure. You know, that
Ooh,
was like
Grady, AI.
AI, Shaq. Those were like my two favorite players growing up. You know what I mean? You know, of course, who didn't like MJ? You know, T Mac was hard, but I had a pair of some VCs.
Okay.
You know, the Shocks. Remember the Shocks?
Yes, I do.
You know what I mean? I had a pair of those. You know.
I had a pair of AIs when I went to Lehman. The ones that zipped up.
Yup.
Yeah, I had those.
I think
boys,
I had
man.
those. Yeah, I think I had even a pair of team AIs too. Like a team pair. I even got a team pair now. That's how AI I was.
Was any of y'all ever bold enough to wear and1 shoes?
No.
Okay, so let me give you the story.
She said, okay.
So I didn't wear and1 shoes, but I remember I was mentoring one time, and this kid wanted to play me in basketball so bad. And I'm like, man, I don't even want to waste my time. And he like, no, I want to play you. So I'm like, all right, let me just grab some shoes. And I went and got some Starberries. I played in them one time, and that was it. I
It was hurting your feet?
Oh, man, I tore them shoes up.
Was it the right
In one
size?
time. Yeah, in one time playing. And I was like, never again.
What was bad about it? Like, so the Starberry wasn't a good quality of a shoe.
No.
I mean, they're like what, $20, right?
Yeah, if that.
Yeah,
So,
like
so I didn't wear the and1s, but I definitely played in some Starberries.
hey, and that's what you would hear people would do. They would just go cop a pair of Starberries for the day if they
Just for a
You
day of
know,
basketball?
yeah, like a disposable camera, you know, disposable shaver. You know, like you need it real quick.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Man, I like the phone posits.
Okay.
Those shoes are so comfortable, man. Like
Pennies.
Yeah, the pennies.
Yep.
Those are my favorite. The AIs.
Penny was nice too.
You like Penny?
Oh, Penny.
Yeah, Penny was a dog.
Yeah.
So when you're coaching, right? What's the one thing you look for in like a great player? Like, what are some qualities you look for to be a part of your league?
Okay, so to be transparent, I don't coach anymore. So I started off coaching, but what ended up happening is, you know, I picked the right players, and my team would end up in the finals all the time. And they're like, "No, you cheating. You cheating. You the commissioner, and you got a team. You cheating." So I removed myself.
Fix this for you. Go ahead.
Okay, so I removed myself from from coaching. So I think now I just try to bring all the talent, as much talent as I possibly can, so the coaches have an opportunity. So
I know you've seen some great things in that league, man.
Man,
you got some pretty dope kids hooping.
Man, I'm just humbled. I'm humbled. I want it to be like something that the kids have to play in before they graduate. Like, I don't care where else I play. I don't care who AAU team I'm on. I got to play in this Taking the Crown League from done. For sure.
What other leagues do you remember ever seeing that maybe inspired you to start yours? Because, you know, there's a lot of different leagues, you know, that have different players in them. Like, were there other leagues you might have seen that might have inspired you to go that route?
When I was growing up, the Northeast Community Center, and I know that's kind of saying my age a little bit, but the Northeast Community Center had a league, and I played in it a little bit when I was smaller. And then I ended up seeing First Friends had a hoop league. And then the Southeast Community Center had a high school basketball league at one point. So all of those helped with, I guess, me thinking of what I wanted to do. But I just wanted to make mine a little bit different. I wanted it to stand out. I wanted it to mean a little bit more. So,
out of the leagues you've done, or the years that you've done this, do you have like a favorite moment that you might have seen?
Probably my favorite moment is when we were able to get a kid a scholarship for Kent State Tusk school, and he was able to play basketball for their team, and he hadn't played his senior year of basketball.
Wow.
Those be the stories right there, you know.
So that's
dope. Why you do it.
Yes. The coach came up. He actually came to a few games, and he liked 3 of the players. 2 of them just didn't pan out, but he made the offers to them. So for 1 out of the 3, and they end up going to like the national championship.
Wow.
So he got great experience just from playing in a league we most consider a rec league, but he got that opportunity from that rec league. So I'm very proud of that moment.
Jordan, do you have a favorite basketball memory?
Oh, my favorite basketball memory?
Yeah.
I mean, I rode the bench in high school. You know what I mean? Like,
That's honest.
I mean, Cleveland Heights, we were pretty good. You know what I mean? And I grew up playing with all them dudes, so I was just happy to be with my homies. I guess you could say my one shining moment, though, we were playing against Warren Harding, and we was getting scraped that year. It was at their dungeon. I don't know if you ever played there. You know,
It's called the dungeon.
It was one of the most hostile environments I've ever been in.
Shout out Warren Harding.
You know what I mean? Like, it was a dark gym. Fans were wild, which was awesome. But they had us in this like cold, big old visitor locker room that was just like I don't know what kind of room it was. Like, it was just cold.
It was
dark, cold.
It was a utility closet.
You know, it was just like a dinner hall. I don't know what it was. I don't know what they do over there. No, but I remember I got in at garbage time, you know, and I think somebody inbounded the ball, you know, of course, because that's how basketball works. And then my boy Chris Ingram, he was the center, you know. I dumped it into him. He dumped it, you know, he passed it back to me. I was on the perimeter, you know, and I hear Coach Capoletti yelling at me, like, Tucker, pass it. And then, you know, I pulled up and drained the three.
Whoa.
You know, I mean, like, I could shoot.
Right. Give me a chance.
If y'all would have passed me the ball. But, you know, hey, I made that happen. That's my memory.
That's what's up.
You know, but also just cheering on my homies. I just love cheering on my homies, you know.
Yeah.
And getting to play against all these great players, you know, especially coming down here to Stark County, playing against Costas Kofis and the McCullums and then coming down here to play against McKinley after they won their first state championship on that run, you know, first home game back in the field house, and it was just packed. It was kind of intimidating to me. I mean, I knew I wasn't going to get in the game, you know, which was fine with me, you know, but I remember like Ricky Jackson and Raymore Morgan, they dunked all over us that game.
Shout out to legends.
It was tough.
I ended up going to school with Ricky Jackson too.
Shout out to Ricky Jackson.
Yeah, he was.
man.
Yeah,
Shout out Ricky Jackson.
Shout out to Ricky Jackson.
Yes.
Patrick, do you have a memory playing ball?
No.
No?
I do not. So I didn't play in high school. So
Okay.
I played like my freshman and sophomore year, which was terrible. I end up quitting.
I respect y'all honesty because some guys going to hear, y'all had 20 points a game.
Nah.
I
It
respect
took me
that.
a minute to come into my own, I think, to just everything to align for like the IQ for the game, the love for the game. I think I just kind of cheated myself in high school. My friends had quit, so I quit. So I was just being lazy. So I think what was cool was when I was in the intramural league at Glen Oak, and I had a lot of the high school basketball boys come and watch. So that was dope for me because it was like, we know you can play. We just gonna come support you. We ain't playing for the team.
Right.
So I thought that was dope. I had a couple battles with this guy. He was foreign. They used to, I forget what they call him. Jeremy Lin, I think they used to call him.
Oh, man.
Yeah, this foreign guy, they nicknamed him Jeremy Lin, and we used to have some battles. But other than that, man, that's about it. I think more than anything, I just love the game. But it just took me a minute for it to come together. Now, if all this would have came together in high school, it would have been probably something different.
But what do you love about basketball?
I think the mental toughness you have to have. It's not just you got to prepare for one side. You have to play both sides of the ball. So I think that is difficult in itself. It's good cardio. I always can work out playing basketball just because I can't run on no treadmill. I can't.
Yeah,
I feel you.
You can't pay me to get on no treadmill, but hooping, I can hoop all day.
Right.
It don't feel like work out there at all. So I just love hoop, man. X's and O's, I'm that type of guy.
I know you're a baseball guy predominantly,
Yes.
but what did you take away from playing basketball?
Man, you know, to be honest, you know, you gotta have pride in yourself. You know what I mean? Like, I growing up, you know, just like how like down here, you know, you gotta play McKinley football, you know, but also the basketball team is also storied. But we also feel the same way up in Cleveland Heights, you know, in the Heights area. You know, you gotta play for Heights, you gotta play for Shaker, you know, you gotta play for, you know, Euclid maybe, you know, or something like that. Like, you know, so just growing up and being able to be with these, you know, men that, you know, are my brothers, you know, like that was the biggest takeaway from that, you know, like it's life lessons is just like the amount of pride. And like, you know, I see these people today and like, you know, we know what we've gone through, you know, win, lose, or draw.
Like a camaraderie thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I dig that. So here's how I want to do. I want to take a break, but before we go on break, where can they follow you, Patrick, like social media wise?
It's just literally my name, Patrick Allen on Facebook. Taking the Crown for the Basketball League on Facebook and Instagram. So it is this logo here.
Okay.
And it's just Taking the Crown.
All right. Ox out. You wanna got any? Just wanna make sure, you know, 'cause I know you don't be.
Hey,
know.
man, you know, I ain't that active, but you know, yeah, y'all can follow me on Instagram at jtuck.ftg. You know,
What does the FTG stand for?
for the glory.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
FTG.
He's trying to wear glory into it now, so you may hear him say that a lot. Like everything's glorious.
You already know that, you know. And you can follow me on X. I forgot what my thing is, but you could probably put in like Ox Tuck or something like that, and that might, you know, bring up something.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Follow Krishan at Krishan_White on Instagram. Jeremy Andrew on Facebook, and Ginger Ninja on Instagram. Zach Worthy, ZWorthy68, and you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. I say Twitter, X, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok at Jean P the MC. www.jeanpthemc.com. SWYM Podcast on Instagram. Make sure if you're watching this, to subscribe, like, rate, comment. I'm just saying what all the YouTubers say when my son watches YouTube. So
Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Right. I'd be like, this is what you say on there. So you gonna stick around with us for a minute?
For sure.
All right,
I'll
man.
be here.
Yes, sir. This is Jean P the MC. We'll be right back. Say what you mean. Peace.
Say what you mean what you say. I'm from the 330, where them boys don't play. Say what you mean what you say. It's no arguments, yeah, I got next, Jean P.
I'm a pressure. I said press record. That was good information.
Press record. Then.
Yeah, there we go. Episode 143 is Jean P the MC. I got my man Patrick in the house. I gotta dap you up, man. You know what it is. They all good. You all good. Got Jordan in the house too. Shout out to the Heights.
Shouts to the Heights. Shouts to the Heights. You already know what it is.
Today, man. Good to see you, man.
Sure.
How you feel about the pod, man?
I love it.
Thank you.
I love it. I could be up here all the time.
We love when our guests come and just chill, man. I like that we have different themes. We have, like I said, we got rappers. We got mentors. We got athletes. You know, we got coaches, men who are starting leagues. So many different things coming out to Stark County in our area, in our city. So shout out to you for being on the show, man.
Appreciate it.
Jordan, you are new or a fresh Canton resident. How's your stay been in the 330?
Man, Canton's been pretty nice. I went to my first Friday this month. You know, that was a movie.
Okay.
It was a movie.
Sound like you learned that from somebody young. You trying to use it in a sense.
I mean, you know, I'm just trying to, you know, gain some riz. Trying to get my riz popping.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
So you loving 330 or you loving the city, huh?
Yeah. We went to, Two Scoops the other day.
Shout out to Scoops.
Shout out to Two Scoops. Holding it down. You know, that was pretty good, you know.
Did you have some pizza oven yet?
Oh, no. You know, I've been getting pizza oven since college.
Come on,
you know what
man.
I'm saying? But, you know, what's his name? Got to go to Mike's Pizza. You know, over there at the 4th Street Collective.
Okay.
Now that's fire.
I have not been to Mike's Pizza yet.
I haven't either.
Yeah, it's a deli during the day, the Ohio Deli or whatever, and then it turns into Mike's Pizza, and now there's this brewery that's in the back part of it that's about to open.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Learning these new things. Are you showing me something?
It's about to get crazy.
He said it's about to get crazy. All right, so before we get into the episode, we got to pay some bills, so it is sponsor time. Shout out to the Hub Art Factory for being our sponsor. Shout out to Tim Carmody. What you think of the space, man? It's your first time in here?
I love it. I used to be able to draw when I was younger, so the art space is lovely. It definitely opens your mind for creativity, for sure. So I like the space.
That's it. Every guest says that. I appreciate that. Shout out to Tim Carmody. Shout out to Aaron Dukes, Pristine Steam Wash, and Latrice Snodgrass at Equity House for being the sponsor for us today on this episode. So, Patrick, man,
Yes.
what side of Canton you repping? Where you from? Let's start from the top.
I'm from the northeast side of Canton.
Okay.
Yes.
What Northeast we talking about?
Over by Crenshaw,
Okay.
not too far from the Fairmont area,
Nice.
actually, in Harmont.
Okay. What was it like growing up for you?
It was interesting. So I started off in a 2-parent household. However, my father was on drugs. So that was a little bit challenging.
Yeah.
Things would get sold out the house sometimes, or, he would be gone all night. So that was a little bit challenging. And him and my mom got a divorce. And my mom moved to Plain Local. So that changed a lot for me. I did have the option to move with my dad, but I just wasn't on it. So I decided to stay with my mom. And I went to Timken for my first 3 years. It's funny because my last year I graduated from Glen Oak, but people don't know that. So I see people from Timken,
like,
and they like, "What's up?" Like, the class reunion is this.
They
I'm like,
still waiting on you to graduate.
Yeah, I'm like, bruh, I didn't graduate from there. So
What was that transition like from Timken to Glen Oak?
it was terrible.
It was terrible.
Terrible. So I went from Timken being classes of like 35 minutes, and then we change, and then we get to Glen Oak, and it's 90 minutes.
Yeah, college.
And I'm sleeping in all the classes. I'm like, bro, I can't sit here this long. Like, I'm telling my mom, like, I got to switch back. I can't do this. But she's like, no, you got to stick it out. So I had to adjust to that. But then I learned why they're so far ahead learning-wise, because they sit in the classroom for that long. I think we've adopted that in Canton City now, but it was an eye-opener when I switched, for sure. And they don't go by whatever you need to graduate. They go by, we'll get over the amount of credits we need to graduate. I went there to, all I think I needed was English 4 at the time. And they're like, well, over here, our kids graduate with well over 21 credits. So we're going to fill your schedule up. So I ended up graduating with like 28 credits, which was insane.
So they challenged you.
Yes. But I can say it pushed me in my young adulthood because, at that time I was not driving. It was cool to still ride the city bus.
Yeah.
I didn't have no job. My mom was giving me lunch money. So I thought I was good moving. And then I got to Glen Oak, and they're like, you're a senior with no job and no car.
Yeah.
You're a bum.
You ain't got no raise.
So at that point, I went home like, oh, I got to change this, Mom. I was pretty popular at Timken, and now I come here and I can't do this. So
he's like, Mom,
I got a job.
I'm a lame man.
Right,
Mom.
Right. I can't do this. So it pushed me. So I definitely appreciate that.
So in the midst of all that growing up, when did basketball come into play in your life? Did it start early? Did it come currently? When did basketball come into play?
So I played from elementary on up. I played at Fairmont for my 4th and 5th grade year. I played so they had like alternative schools. So if you didn't make your home school, like Crenshaw, they had like alternative elementary schools that they started. So I played like for Big Mad Jutz, Turk and his dad. And in high school, I played for Timken my first 2 years, and then that was it. That was kind of it for hoop.
At Timken or just in general?
In general, as far as playing organized, that was kind of it for me. Yeah.
Right.
So we're after high school, and tell us about the formation and idea of taking the crown.
Okay, so it's been a journey. So from high school, I went to college. I graduated with an associate's, and from there, I went to the service field of ICANN. So I worked at ICANN Housing, which was mentally ill homeless people, and I helped them get housing. I was a housing support specialist there for 5 years, and then I transitioned to community services, where I ran diversion programs for Stark County Family Court for minority youth. So those that got court cases or would come in contact with court, they would get referred to me for diversion. So at that time, I probably worked with some of the worst in Kenton. I kid you not.
Yeah.
But I found that basketball seemed to be a common thing that they love. So a lot of my kids would be going to jail. So what I thought about doing was rounding up a couple of my friends, and we would go to the jail and play them on our spare time. So I would get off of work, and I think it was like Mondays and Tuesdays or Mondays and Thursdays, I think it was. And we would just go down to the jail and play. And it was a big event. All the staff gathered around. We brought jerseys down for them, so it felt like a real game for them. So we did that for a few years. And then after that, those guys would transition out, and they're like, well, we still want to hoop. So I'm like trying to send them places. And at that time, I think it was the Urban League was the only one that had a high school basketball league. And a lot of my kids was on the northeast side of town, so they weren't going on that side of town.
Yeah, you know how I go.
Hold on, y'all. What was
southeast?
I mean, like, but what does this mean?
Them and their peers didn't get along with those peers on the southeast side of town.
Yeah, it's deeper than hoop.
But
For
how many miles is apart between these people?
Man, what?
We be putting them on right now.
Maybe 4 or 5 miles at the most, I would say, apart.
I told you, ain't that big.
Yeah, it's not that big.
I know it's not that big.
It ain't the heights, but it happens.
Yes. I think that's what bothers me with a lot of the gang stuff, too, is Canton is already so small. So
and like I said before, we all related in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
Like, me and you might be cousins in some way, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's unfortunate.
Yes.
Not to interject what you were saying, but like, I feel that.
So to be from a certain side and just don't go on a whole nother side of a town and it's already small enough, ain't no way. I can't live like that. So I couldn't be a part of that. So Southeast was the only option, I do believe, at the time. So I was like, well, I'll just start a league, not knowing the work that it takes to start a basketball league. So I'm just like, I'm going door to door. Every church that got a gym, I'm knocking on the door. They telling me no. They giving me prices. And I'm like, look, I ain't got no money. I just want to do this to help the kids. You know what I'm saying? But, at the end of the day, lights and bills got to be paid. So I understood that. But I knocked on Duber Church, Duber United Methodist Church, I do believe. And I sat down with the pastor. He was a Caucasian male. and I just told him my vision, man, and I was sincere. And he was like, I believe in it. He said, I'll let you get to gym 4 nights a week.
That's real.
You ain't got to pay me nothing. We'll give you access to rooms. Whatever you need, just let me know. So we put flyers up, had our first open gym. We had 80 kids in the gym. I was not expecting that response. So it was great to see that response, but then it was like, I need more people. I need more help. So I started reaching out to my family like, hey, can y'all come help me do some security or something? Because we're going to need it for all these kids. So shout out to my family. Zach Skillern came down.
My man, Zach.
Trayvon Stokes came down. Cornell Jones.
Them bombs.
Yes. So they came down, man, and they was willing to help. And it kind of started from there. We just wasn't prepared for, I think, everything we had to deal with. So
what were the pros and cons that you learned starting the league, having that many kids and having to reach out for help? I know there was some pros and some cons. So what would you say those were?
The pros was just giving them a safe space, giving them something to do positive, something to look forward to weekly, and to keep them out of trouble. However, I think the cons were we had kids from all sides of town in one space. So I don't think we was prepared for, and it wasn't a lot of fights, but about 2 fights and things like that. So when you have something or games and people from the outside are coming in, you have to control the kids somehow or another, or they're going to be terrified to come. So I don't know if we were prepared for all that extra. We had a kid bring a gun. We had to take the gun off of him. So coming from that to where it is now, I think is just huge because we don't really deal with those issues anymore.
So I'm sure the request is high to be in your league right now. Like, do you have like a waiting list of kids wanting to play?
No, actually it's not, because these kids are active out here. So they're in the stuff all the time. I think more than anything is just keeping them coming consistently.
Yeah.
More than anything. So we don't turn kids away. This year we had 14 teams. We have 2 from Akron. We have 2 from Massillon. So we have them from all over. We have kids from Jackson, North Canton, East Canton. So we have them from all over. So I think it's just keeping them engaged long enough to keep coming.
Right.
As an owner of the league, and seeing so many different players, do you see like the difference in play from where other kids come from? Like, do you see like Akron kids playing a certain way or Canton kids playing a certain way? Or do you just see it all just being one way? I just always wondered that, because we were talking about guys from Akron and you were like, oh man, they can hoop. So do you see a difference in cities when it comes to basketball and how they play?
I don't know if I
like
see
style
a
of
difference.
play?
Yeah, I don't know if I see a difference in play per se. I just think some kids just play harder. I think when we was talking off camera about kids just having that dog, and that work ethic, everybody just doesn't have it, and it's something you can't teach. So it don't matter who you train with. If you don't have it, you just don't have it.
Yeah, and it seems like, Stark County has created a pretty, nice culture for itself that produces those kind of dogs. You know what I mean? No pun intended.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Bulldogs.
Shout out to the Heights. Super Bowl City.
Right. Yeah, so.
You got any questions you might want to ask or any?
I want to know, like, what were some of those, go more into detail about, some more administrative hurdles you had to go through early on?
Let me see. Well, I don't know about really administrative hurdles. I just think it just takes a lot. I wanted my league to be different. The usual league has jerseys. So the first thing we went to was NBA teams. So we had like replica NBA jerseys that was reversible, which was cool. But now we have custom Taking the Crown jerseys. Yeah. And they're all like royalty type names. So we have like the Monarchs, the Royals, the Kings, and all the jerseys are different, but they're Taking the Crown specific with our logo. They're reversible. They have shorts that come with them. So we have a photographer that comes and she takes highlight pictures. So if you get player of the week, so say a kid gets player of the week, he'll have his actual pictures of him playing on the shirt.
Nice.
And it'll say Taking the Crown player of the week. And on the back, it'll have his name with his number, and they get to keep that shirt.
Nice.
That's something they look forward to every week. The idea of trophies we did away with, and now they get rings, so they don't get trophies. And since we had so many teams this year, we did like a lower bracket because we're dipping into the 7th and 8th grade. So we did a lower bracket called Royalty, and then the higher bracket is Dynasty. So they got medals for winning their championship, which that was SPE. So shout out to them. They did their thing. And then what else we have? Individual awards. So we got like Best Newcomer, Most Improved. We do character awards. So those who wear their crown off the court, whether that's in school. I know Ja'Cory, he had got MVP this year.
Shout out Ja'Cory.
He had a 4.0 the whole year.
Wow.
So not only did he do well on the basketball floor, he did well in school as well.
Good for you, man. We gotta get you on the show.
Yes.
4.0 student athlete, that's dope.
For sure. And I was like, that's the definition of a student athlete.
Yes,
sure.
yes.
So we want to big up the things they do off the court as well as what they do on the court. And just look after them after that too. So if that means, checking on them, seeing how things are going, if they need help getting into college. I run it with a guy named Kenny Thomas now, who has been helping me a whole lot. Nate Chester.
Shout out Nate Chester
as well, who is helping me a whole lot. Them is my guys. But we're trying to just build something for after taking the crown as well.
Right.
So if we can get them into college, get them into trade, whatever that looks like, just for them to be successful, that's what we want.
Now you spoke about the one player that ended up going to Kent Tusk.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that's like your more target, kind of athlete, the one that's like kind of like the diamond in the rough, or is it just like, hey, are you taking kids that barely know how to dribble a ball and making it so that or are you creating that kind of environment for them?
You're good.
Or is it just kind of like, all right, the guy that might have, he is ineligible, but everybody know he can hoop, and he might be able to get some tape.
Right. So when I first started, that was the target. Those who are ineligible, those who couldn't play for some reason or another. But what we found out as growing is that the AAU teams want to be involved. Mm-hmm. They want as much rec as possible. And then also it gives the chance for guys who haven't played to share the floor with those who have. So I give you an example like Nate's son. Now, Nate's son is a good kid. He's not in trouble. But with Nate coaching, Nate put his son on the team who now share the floor with Ja'Cory Lipkins. That would never happen in any other arena. You know what I'm saying? The age gap and all that. So it's just bringing sometimes dreams and making them reality. And then also just putting those things closer for the ones who aren't able to play. So it's just like, hey, I ain't get to play in school, but I gave Ja'Cory like 10 points. You know what I mean? That's something they can live and be like, hey, I got this story for that forever. You know what I mean? So that's what we're trying to do, for sure.
What are some future plans for taking the crown?
Oh, man, I don't want to leak the secrets on here, but no. No, we got some things coming. I want to have supporter shirts, so now the parents will be able to have Player of the Week shirts to acknowledge their kid.
Nice.
We want basketball trading cards, so the kids will actually have their own basketball card to trade.
What a way to make them feel special, man.
Yeah, so we do want to do a banquet. We want to do like a black tie affair with the banquet. So it's just always just trying to forward think on what's missing. How can it be a league that they're proud of and continue to work with? So
y'all want to be the next big three, the 3-3.
I'm trying. It's a lot of work though, man. It's a lot of work. Like, I mean, I got some help, but it's a lot. It's a lot that I do. Even with washing jerseys. Like, I'm up to like 1:32 in the morning.
You wash them at the crib?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And the smell. Bro.
Hey, man. I mean, you're soaking water. You have a lead.
Right. Right.
What'd you say?
I said soap and water.
But, man, it's just some sacrifices, that I got to make. And then my cousin, I have to shout out my cousin, Beatrice. She is the cook for the concession stand. And if you have not been down there, her conies, her fries,
I love
her chicken wings and fries. Like, it's not just your average concession stand.
It's home.
For sure.
Home cooked.
For sure. We take care of you. So we have people who don't come to the games but come just for the concession stand. So like, hey, bro, is the stand open? I need a coney. So I definitely appreciate her for that. She takes her time out on her own to come do that for me. So I definitely appreciate that.
So for those who are listening who want to know more about the league or when the games are, because I'm assuming this season's over, when's the next season start?
Well, actually, everyone can come out Monday.
Yeah, okay, yeah, come on.
If they can make it, right. So Monday is the championship game. We'll have a final four, which is single elimination, and then after that, we'll play best out of three. So championship will be tomorrow. We'll give out the rings tomorrow. Then we'll take a break for the summer, and then hopefully we'll be back in the fall. It just depends on if the demand is there. I know last fall it wasn't as much. Spring ball normally be the biggest turnout, so we'll see.
So May 20th at the Martin Center. What time?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock, and we'll probably be there till at least 9.
So y'all hooping.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, hooping.
Hooping. See,
Hooping.
made me learn how to hoop and get my fundamentals.
sure.
It's like give me a jersey and card, man.
For sure.
You gonna help?
No.
So what a friend.
Hey man, I can't even dribble myself, man. I told you I rode the bench.
So
I was 5 for 10. I could dunk. That was about
see?
it. That was my claim to fame.
Yep.
what's your claim to fame on the court? Luka, you got a three.
I'm a decent shooter. I'm
Okay.
not bad. That's probably what I'm known for, shooting. For sure.
You a shooter. And
Yeah.
you a dunker.
I guess. I rode the bench. I was a good teammate.
So did you ever see any good memories?
I told you a couple, but I was a JV All-Star.
Okay.
I dunked on 2 dudes in one game.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
See, that's what's up.
Some footage, some video. You got some footage
Somewhere.
somewhere?
Yeah, against Bedford.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Let's go.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, listen, here's what I want to do. I want to take a break. I want to
Okay.
do a section called Peace, Positive Point, where you say a quote, I say a quote, and you can't say shout out to the heights. I was just playing with you. That can't be your quote. But we'll take a break and we'll say that, and we'll be right back. Episode 143, Say What You Mean podcast. It's Jéan P. the MC. Peace. Yo, episode 143 of the Say What You Mean podcast. I got my man Patrick Allen in the house.
Yeah.
Thank you for being on the show, man. This was so
appreciate
much
it.
fun.
Appreciate it.
Shout out to Taking the Crown, too.
Yes.
Shout out to Ja'Cory Lipkins, man. That dude can hoop.
Yes.
His dad's a dope hooper, too, man.
Yes. Shout out to Bud.
Yeah, man. Another Sunday. What y'all got planned today?
I'm just gonna, take care of some work, get ready for the week. Got some gigs this week, and then I got a bunch of baseball games this week.
All right. What about you, Patrick? What y'all going on?
Definitely
washing
got to
some
finish
jerseys?
wash the jerseys for the championship tomorrow.
Yeah.
But then I'm going to just spend the rest of the day with my daughters.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
How old are they?
6 and 4.
6 and 4.
6 and 4. Yeah, they are really 13 and 14.
Yeah,
You
double.
hear
You
them
got to
ask-
double that. Yeah.
Man, I did not know the trouble of dealing with girls.
Yeah. What you enjoy about being the father, though?
I think just being soft, being able to just be
Yeah.
soft with them. I think having a boy, as much as I wanted to have a boy, I think, I don't know, it's cool being the soft dad, too, for the girls. So
Got you
I appreciate
wrapped
my little
around that
ladies.
finger,
oh,
man.
man,
Whatever.
spoiled.
That's what's up, man. So you know how we give it up on the pod, man. We like to end it on a positive note. This is P's Positive Point. So who wants to kick it off? You want to go, Jordan?
Sure.
All right, go ahead. What you got for us?
My quote, I believe, is from Tim Grover.
I thought we wasn't doing where it's from, but no.
Yeah, I told you. You ain't got no. Yeah.
It's he said, get comfortable at being uncomfortable or find somewhere else to fail.
What's that mean to you?
I feel like I can apply that to my journey as a creator, and just my drive in life, it's okay to be uncomfortable, but you do have to draw the line, with a place that you really don't want to be at versus the places you do want to be at. It's okay to thrive in an environment that shows you love. It's okay to thrive in an environment that you're good at. You can cross over. You can you can branch off and do even more things if you work from within, you know.
Like that.
You know, so it's kind of like, hey, you know, of course, expand your horizons, diversify your bonds.
Hello. How you doing?
What it do?
We let this happen on the pod. It's okay. You can walk in. It's cool. Yeah, do what you gotta do, yeah. No, you good?
You're glorious.
You glorious, yeah.
You know.
That's your point?
Yeah.
All right.
You know, just, you know, pretty much just like, you know, be somewhere, you know, where you want to be.
Okay. I dig that, man. That was a glorious point.
Thank you.
Patrick, you want to go?
Yeah, I kind of got two. Is that all right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. The first one is never be so open-minded that your brains fall out. So I like to think of that as meaning, you know, just it's cool to be open-minded. It's cool to try new things, but also keep your boundaries. Also keep a sense about the things you're doing. Don't just go or do anything. So just keep some morals about yourself. And then the second one is never let life disrupt your peace. So, you know, life is going to always have ups and downs. Just remember to be appreciative of the breath that you still have. So just continue to make an impact.
I like that quote, man. And my positive point is from Biz Stone. And it is, when you hand good people possibility, they do great things. During your interview, you mentioned how you tried to go to different gyms and they said no. And when you went to Duber, they gave you the opportunity, and look at what it's blossomed into. Yes. I think sometimes when you take a chance on people that you just know it about them, because they probably saw it on you, like, this is a good brother right here. Let's give him a chance. And they do great things. Like, every time you upload pictures of that league, I'm like, man, I got to go to a game.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
I love to see guys start their own leagues. We always just depend on the NBA, and there's different players. Hi, what's up, man? He over here watching. What's up? What's going on? You want to have a seat? You want to sit down for a minute? Come on, sit down.
Doom.
A special guest. He's just chilling with us. Yeah, but, you know, that's what I mean when I say when you hand good people possibility, they do great things.
Yes.
So that's my positive point.
I appreciate that.
What's your name, man?
Blake.
Blake. How you doing, Blake?
Good.
You got a nice quote you want to say, you know?
What's the quote?
Like, does your mom tell you something?
What's inspirational?
Yeah.
Oh, inspirational?
Yeah.
I like peanut butter and jelly.
Perfect.
All right, cool. any last shout outs when we get out of here?
Shout out to the Martin Center,
Okay.
3rd Street. We appreciate everything you do for taking the crown. So we just gonna keep it going.
Jordan, any shout outs?
Man, shout outs to the Heights. You know what I'm saying? We ain't playing. We about to bounce back this football season. We gonna get over the hump. We gonna get downstate, so we ain't playing.
Okay.
All right.
You know.
Shout out to those watching the podcast. Yes. Shout out to my man Patrick for being on the show.
For sure.
Shout out to Taking the Crown. Shout out to my man Blake for popping up on the show. This guy is happy. Say peace, man.
Peace.
Yeah. So shout out to everybody that's watching the show.
I like turtles.
You do? What?
Where did that come from?
All right. Hey, man, we'll see y'all next week, man.
Yes.
This is John P. the MC. Say what you mean. Peace.
Peace.
Say what you mean what you say. I'm from the 330, where them boys don't play. Say what you mean what you say. I'm from the 330, where them boys don't play. From the northwest to the northeast, say my name once and they know it's me. Southeast to the southwest, no arguments. Yeah, I got next, Jean P. 1, 2. Let me talk my shit again real quick. I will not settle. These words